you ended up losing a bunch of money, right? 2 million, wow. Why did you kill the project?
I was making the tech for my own agency. It's a lot harder than people think. It can't just be another clawback tool. It can't be just another keyword tracker tool. The only SaaS software that makes sense to me would have to be a niche solution that nobody's done before. But what I'm trying to suggest is that the next guy who thinks they're going to build a SaaS tool, be wary, because I spent $2 million trying to make a SaaS tool. I thought that I could take Asana, Helium 10, all the good keyword tools, Time Doctor, and then jam pack it all together. What ended up happening was that nobody wanted to use this piece. And at that point, I was like, what am I doing? Let's just cancel the project.
Another question, it's a little bit of a pivot. I remember you speaking at some point about starting a SaaS product, right? With some kind of technology that you were building, investing in, and then you ended up losing a bunch of money, right? And saying, all right, yes, 2 million, wow. So you said, screw this, I'm not doing the tech thing anymore. I'm sticking to this agency world. But naturally, AI is getting popular. SaaS just looks like such a great business model because it's so scalable and high profit if you build it right. And there's so many SaaS tools already with e-commerce and Amazon in particular. Not sure how much room there is. That's a different topic, but speak a little bit about that experience. Why did you kill the project?
All right, so I'm going to ask you a question too, if I can, to answer yours.
Sure.
Do you sell on Amazon?
I do.
Okay, how many tech tools do you pay for on average?
A whole stack of them. I don't even know how many, a lot.
All right, so if we take away like the project management softwares and all the like tech tools, but just focus on like Amazon specific ones. So like the Helium 10s, Jungle Scouts, Seller Rises of the world. How many of those do you pay for?
In reality, it's not. Yeah, I guess when you really break it down like that, it's not as many. I guess I'm a little bit of a cheater because I use my agents. I hired my own agency, so I just pile it all in. But yeah, Helium 10, PackView, Seller Board. That's probably
so three.
Yeah, three. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I believe the average Amazon seller uses 2 to 3.
Yeah.
And so now if we calculate how much you pay for those tools, it's probably going to be, if we lump sum, average it out, $250 a month, right?
Right.
And so is there really budget and room for all of these SaaS tools that are being generated? I don't think so. I think sellers are so overwhelmed with things they can do that they just need somebody to come in and tell them what to do. And so like, how many products can you launch? How many A+ contents can you do? How many A/B tests can you run? Infinite, right? And so the reason why I think the next good tech tool that will come about, it'll be a tool that tells you what to do at every given moment for maximum ROI. Now, I want to be clear. I use tools. Tools are good. But what I'm trying to suggest is the next guy who thinks they're going to build a SaaS tool, be wary, because I spent $2 million trying to make a SaaS tool. I thought that I could take Asana, Helium 10, all the good keyword tools, Time Doctor, CRM software like HubSpot, and then jam pack it all together. And what ended up happening is that when we started doing the user testing, when it was almost done, is that nobody wanted to use this piece of junk. Nobody thought it was better than any of the native applications. And so when you're trying to build a SaaS tool, especially if you try to do something stupid like I did and combine a bunch of stuff together, it has to be better than all of them, or nobody will use it. I was making the tech for my own agency, and my own agency people didn't want to use it. And at that point, I was like, damn, if nobody of my own people want to use it, there's no way I can sell this. What am I doing? Let's just cancel the project.
What did $2 million go towards? I mean, that's a lot of money.
Dev
Like
work.
just so
Lots
many
of dev
devs. Yeah, tons. Even though you were using existing products as like a base, like you were basically making this
Yes.
modular design, APIs, and connecting them together.
So if you go through any of the public records you can find on these publicly traded companies, right? So like Asana, spent $50 million. Like Helium 10 spent $10 million. Like those aren't quotable numbers. I'm just making it up. But like, if you look at them and search them down, that'll probably be about right? Like HubSpot, probably north of 100 million dev work, right? So there's just so much money that goes into these softwares to make them as good as they are. So the only SaaS software that makes sense to me that could enter into the Amazon space would have to be a niche solution that nobody's done before. right? And so it would have to be, it can't just be another clawback tool. It can't be just another keyword tracker tool, because nobody's as good as Helium 10's Cerebro. Like, let's be honest. Like, I really wish somebody was, because I hate how Helium 10 is run from a management standpoint. I'm very vocal about this. They don't listen to me as an agency, even though I'm like, all you got to do is fix and tweak these 3 things and make me super happy. They don't care, right? Like, I'm not their customer, ICP. And so I've been really begging like Zonguru or AMZ Scout or anybody to try and knock Helium 10 off a peg. And Carbon 6, you know, to their credit, they went around trying buying all these softwares to try and do exactly that, but they haven't yet. You know, it's a journey. Like, it's a lot harder than people think. So here's what's great about launching an agency. You can be profitable day one. Here's what sucks about running a SaaS company. You will not be profitable for at least a year, at least. And that means you need investment. That means you need capital. That means you might have to talk to VCs, right? So I have a close friend who is running a tech product, which I'm not going to name because I don't want to embarrass. And they are struggling, very struggling. They have a cool idea. It's a niche product, which is generally good, right? But they're about to go out of business because they don't have the run rate to keep the dev work going, and they don't have enough sales on the front end. So it's like, what do you do in that situation? Do you go for another cap raise, which then takes your upside out as an owner, or do you cut staff and go slower, right? Which is harder, right? Especially if you're in bootstrap already. So I don't know, but I'll tell you this. I have never, not a single time in 6 years, ever had to ask somebody for money. And that's a very comfortable position for me to be in. The agency I built is a cash cow. It makes north of 43% net profit. That's even after paying my salary. And so, by the way, I don't think most agencies do that. I think an average agency is doing like 15% net. But because of the way I built my system, it's solvent infinitely. Like, I could take a year off and come back. I would be making almost the same amount of money. It probably wouldn't grow, but I could net the same I did last year, for example. So just be cautious with trying to go down the dev and the coding route, especially since VC money has dried up in the last year or two with hyperinflation, and they see the aggregators failing and they're like, man, I don't know if I want to touch Amazon right now.
Yep.